Good morning, good afternoon, depending upon where you are. Welcome, welcome. My name is Tara, and I am delighted to have you all here. We're just ahead of the top of the hour, so we're not going to get started yet. But I would love to hear where you all are from. So if you could drop that in the chat, that would be awesome. And you have access, this is a digital workshop, so you do have access to your microphone as well as your camera. So feel free to unmute yourself, show us your face, whatever makes you most comfortable. The digital workshop the premise behind it is to be able to have that authentic conversation and ensuring that we give space and a platform to be able to do that. So, welcome, welcome. All right, Cape Cod. I love Cape Cod. That's one of my favorite places to visit. In Pennsylvania, used to live in Pennsylvania, and we have Georgia. Nice, nice, nice. Excellent. Welcome, Illinois, Texas. Love it. Love it. I am so excited that we've got our superstar Dana back to present this topic. When I was at ISTE, Colorado Springs, Wisconsin, welcome, welcome. Yes, this session is being recorded as we speak, actually. Um, when I was at ISTE, I had several come up to me and say, "Hey, Tara, are you doing anything around getting started as far as back to school is concerned?" And that was already in the works because Dana and I had already had this conversation. So I'm super excited to not only bring Dana back for this, but also I feel very I get those warm fuzzies knowing that I'm doing something that you guys actually were wanting, needing at this particular time. So we are right at the top of the hour. Again, welcome, welcome. My name is Tara Tibbs. I manage our educator community for ViewSonic, and I have Dana Atwood with us again. Some of you might have been with Dana and I in the spring, where she presented a very timely topic for us. And once again, she's back for yet another timely topic. We know that so many of you all might be in a similar place where you perhaps got your view board over the summer, you're getting it. Um, and or you've had it and you're just kind of like, okay, where do I start? Maybe your PD hasn't happened just yet. Maybe it's scheduled later on in the year, but you want to get started on day one with utilizing this the hardware and the software. So this session will provide you with the nuts and bolts to get started. Um, I wanted just to remind you all that the session is being recorded. And as soon as we can, I'll be able to get it available in a YouTube format so that I can post it within the community as well as on our socials. So know that you will be able to have that again. And Toronto, nice. Welcome, welcome. So, before I have Dana get started, I am going to go through just a couple of housekeeping items. If you have been with me before, you know that I love, love, love to give away stuff. And so I want to ensure that you are able to participate in the giveaway. So, what I have just put in our chat is our educator community link. And I will share my screen so I can show you where that link will take you. Oh, there we go. Okay, you all seeing my screen? Hopefully. Yes?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so the link that I put in the chat will take you here. This is our educator community EDU website, and so it is a kind of a great little advertisement commercial, if you will, about all the cool things that are happening within the community district spotlight. I'm so excited to be able to feature Salinas Elementary School District. If you keep going through and I won't read it for you, but you can come down here to join the community. When you select join the community, For those of you who are members already, it will take you right to the community. If you're not a member yet, it will take you to a brief place where you can put in your information, just your email address, name, information, district, and then it'll take you right into the community. And just like that, you're a community member. And within the community, the goal of the community is, again, to provide this open forum so that you can connect, collaborate, and contribute with your peers and contribute to your peers. Within the United States, but also global. We are a global forum. There are several things I just want to call out and bring to your attention. First, being our Learning Center. We have put together, curated a very nice back to school resource guide. Okay, so to kind of, um, uh, I feel like complement what you're going to learn today from Dana, we've put these resources and tools together for you as well. So I would encourage you to pop into our Learning Center at that top navigation bar and click here to find out all the different resources that are available. I also wanted to show you here in our product form, we have some ways in which you can get into our knowledge base by going into the product form. It'll take you directly in. Particularly if I go into my ViewBoard, you'll see lots of different tips and tricks here, but then it'll also take you to another spot to find those back to school resources, as well as be able to take you into our knowledge base activity or articles. Finally, I wanted to show you here, if you go into the actual session that we're in, which is here, when I tap on that, if you comment in this post with just a reflection or a comment, that is how it's going to enter you into our drawing to win our giftogram. Okay, so I would love to be able to put you in that pool, but I will need you to put a comment there. Okay, so again, you can click on that link that's already in the chat. If there aren't any questions, I'm going to stop talking and give Dana an opportunity to start talking and share this information with you all. Again, a very warm welcome back to Dana. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tara, so
Yes.
much for having me
Mhm.
today. All right, I'm gonna go back to my screen here.
Yes.
All right, Tara, can you see it okay?
Yes. Perfect, Dana. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I'm excited to go over some of these features that are going to help you get started with the board right away. I know a lot of our schools don't have money for PD right now. We don't have time for PD. And some of the schools I'm finding out don't even have PD allotted for their teachers. So they're putting in these boards right away, assuming, hey, you'll be able to pick up. So right away, I just want to start with ViewSonic has a ton of information and tutorials and videos to get you started. So don't panic, don't freak. We'll be able to point you to those. So right away, I just want to get started with the software. I'm kind of in there right now. And this is kind of a little agenda that we're going to start with today. So within the agenda, we're going to talk about the ViewBoard and then how to access the My ViewBoard software, and using some existing content that you may already have, and then on top of it, creating a little bit of new content. I know it's a lot, don't be overwhelmed. We're just going to see how far we get. One thing I do want to point out is that ViewSonic right now is currently in the middle of a rebranding with their logo. So if you've used this before, chances are you've seen the top yellow cloud here that we have. So that's our old logo that we're doing away with. And now we're going to this red My with like a half cloud around it. So as your software gets updated, it should transfer from the yellow to the red with the My cloud, the My with the cloud around it. So just so that you know, when you do come into your software for the first time as you're using your board, make sure we update it. And if you notice up here at the top, there's a gear icon. That's our settings icon. And if we click on that once, it's going to bring up some more options. And then if you click on the I, that's for the information spot, it'll show where to update your software. So most schools are able to do this on their own without having to have tech help to be able to update it. But we just want to make sure you're at the latest version and everything's fresh and updated. So you should just be able to click that update. And then if you are updated, it'll say your board is up to date. Now I'm not going to update mine because we're in the middle of the training. So I'll go back and update it later. I just wanted to show you that what that looks like when it's done. All right, so first of all, one of the things I do want to point out with your board when we first get started here, you'll have a pen that comes with the board, normally two. One side has a blunt part and the other side has a pointy tip. That pointy tip, just so you know, acts by itself and is very independent when you write on the board. And then you have a blunt part of the pen, and that blunt part, the round tip, and your finger work the exact same. And that's the marker tool down here at the bottom. And when you select the marker, you're able to select some different colors right away. So say I'm going to change mine to green. And you also have an option to change the thickness. So you can go bold or more thin if you wanted to. And you also have the option to change the transparency. So I just changed my color to green and my thickness to a little bit thinner than the original pen. And so now we're set up. I'm going to go erase this real quick and start fresh. So out of the box, I'm able to access my whiteboard. Now I'm going to kind of go backtrack and show you how I got to this part, just so that we can see this going forward. I'm going to exit out of my software. And don't look at my desktop, it's crazy. However, you're going to be looking for the icon that says My ViewBoard. Again, it's going to be that yellow cloud, or it's going to be the My with the red, and we're going to double tap that. If you do not have this installed on your computer, number one, your Windows slot in PC, your laptop that's connected to the board, you'll need to make sure that you let your tech people know that you'll need that program installed on your computer. Now, another way you may be accessing this is if you are just using the Android part of the ViewBoard, where you press the home icon and you're using that My ViewBoard software that's on the Android part. Again, if you see that yellow cloud or the red with the My, those are the logos that you're going to be clicking on to get in here. Now, one thing that I set myself up for failure with right away is that I'm still signed in. There we go. I want to sign out. All right, so when you first open up the My ViewBoard whiteboard software, and again, I know we're rebranding, so right now it's called the My ViewBoard whiteboard software. Soon it will just be My ViewBoard software. When you open it up, you have an option where it says My ViewBoard sign in. We're not going to sign in right now because some of us may not have our entity account connected yet, and that's something that's done on the back side of everything. But right now, I want to make sure that we set you up that you can access your software and you're able to do a few things with this until all of those dots get lined up. So when you see this sign in at the bottom here, you can click the X and it clears it out. One thing to keep in mind while you're doing in this side without being signed in, you don't have access to your Google Drive right here or your OneDrive, whatever your cloud storage is. This is just being able to get to the whiteboard real quick to bring in some content, to maybe create some content, or just use the whiteboard itself. So I know we talked about the marker, which is down here at the bottom. Right away, as soon as you open up your whiteboard software, you have the option to use the marker. Down here at the bottom of the marker again, you can click on it. You have a few more options. You have a paintbrush, a highlighter, and we also have a laser pointer, depending on your version. If you're using the Windows the program through Windows, or on the OS side, some of these options may vary. And keep in mind, I am on the Windows side. So we have our marker options. The next one down I just want to point out is our eraser. So we have our marker and then eraser, and we have the option to just erase a certain section, or we have the option to click delete and it clears the whole page. The next one I just want to mention here is our shapes. So we'll be able to draw shapes right away. And there it brings up our adorning menu. When you see the shape, anytime you have an object, you'll always have the adorning menu. An adorning menu is going to be a keyword that I have you just jot down, and I'll show you later where to go back to find more information about this. And then the next icon we talked about, oops, I did that again. There we go. Arrow, we talked about shapes, and the next one over, we're going to talk about the text. If you push the T once, you're able to have your text editor, and then you can bring up your either on-screen keyboard or use your keyboard connected to your device or your wireless keyboard to be able to type in our text editor box. So these are the main features that I wanted to show you down here at the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and delete, go back to my pen. We did our marker, and we talked about eraser, and then the shapes, and then text. So those are great icons to be able to familiarize yourself with as you're learning how to use the new software. All right, I'm going to go back to my eraser and click delete again. One thing that I jumped over, this is called our main toolbar. And don't mind my writing. This is our main toolbar down here at the bottom. And then this one on the far left is called our floating toolbar. And it's called floating because you're able to select these crosshairs right here and move this around the board. So as you're jotting down some keywords to follow and make sure you follow up on later in the knowledge base, when I show you where to enter those words, we've got main toolbar, floating toolbar, and adorning menu so far. So those are some great ones to remember. Before I move on, are there any questions? You can unmute your mic, type it in the chat.
Yes, please. Feel free to add or even a comment.
I have a question.
Hi, Judy, go ahead.
So I saw that there was something where you can draw with the you can draw words and then change them into text. I don't have that feature on my boards, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get it.
Draw words and change them into text.
Yeah, so you write the word with the pen, and then it
Mhm.
changes the word that you just wrote into text.
So we're going to dog ear that, Judy, and talk about that in the next session.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, not a problem. Anybody else with a question over our floating toolbar, our main toolbar, just getting set up into the software? All right, we're going to jump ahead here. Tara, if you do see something pop up in the text in the chat box, just let me know, okay?
Absolutely. Thank
Great,
you.
thank you. All right. So now I'm going to go back to our eraser, click delete, and start brush. So I want to bring in a PDF that I have on my hard drive of my computer. And I want to be able to edit this, manipulate it right away. So you may be used to opening up your PDF through your drive on your computer or your cloud storage on your computer. But today we're going to go over a couple more different features and options that you can utilize the software and you can do more with it. And this, again, we're not even signed into our cloud storage. We're bringing something in that we have saved on our computer or hard drive. So I'm going to come down to our main toolbar again, and there's a brown box with blue bubbles inside of it. This is called our magic box. This is another keyword that you'll want to look up later. When you click your magic box, right away, you'll notice I am defaulted to my PC. It says this PC. And now I'm going to double click my PC here, and I'm going to navigate to my computer. And I'm going to navigate then to where I have this file saved. All right, and here's my PDF example. So this is the file that I want to bring in, that I want to do something with. I want to show the students. We want to get to be able to display this. I'm going to double click on this PDF, and then it's going to ask me a couple questions. Right here, I'll be able to see how many different pages are essentially in this PDF. This PDF only has one, so I'm going to select that one image. If I come down then to the bottom, I have some more questions. It says import as object or import as background. I always import as object, mainly because it allows me to manipulate this object, this document, a little bit more. The background is pretty much of a static image. So if you think of maybe a Venn diagram, that's something that you'll want to import as a background. If you think about a certain grid that you're using, you'd want to use that as a background all the time. However, I'm going to select import as object, and then I'm going to select import portrait in the far right here. And now here's my PDF. So I didn't just open my PDF from my drive on my computer. I'm opening my PDF within my ViewBoard software. And now I'm able to do a little bit more with this. So if I bring my pointer, or click the pointer down here at the very bottom in the middle, let me go back to my pen. So when I say pointer or home, click home, this icon down here at the bottom, I utilize that a lot. So I can click that pointer, and then I know that I can select my object. And if you see the yellow border around it now, and one thing it's hard to point out without being actually on my on my board to point to you. If you notice the very far left corner of this math worksheet. So here we'll do this, go back to my pointer. There is a tiny little padlock, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's hard to see for a reason. Right now, that means that this PDF is locked on the screen. So I can't click on my PDF and move it. So right now I'm trying to drag it across my screen and I can't. However, if I select that PDF, it now becomes unlocked. I can move my PDF or my object, and I get my adorning menu back. My adorning menu gives me some more options for what I can do with this PDF. So I'm going to erase and go back to my pointer and my PDF. So now I'm going to move my PDF to the very far left of my screen. And now what I'm going to do is maybe I want two students to come to the board at the same time and work on this math worksheet. So in my adorning menu that's showing here at the top, I'm going to select the yellow page with the gray page behind it. That is our copy icon. And it says selected objects have been copied. And now I'm going to go down to my floating toolbar. And that's the one with the crosshairs. I'm going to click my clipboard with the blue page on it. And it said my object was pasted. Now I have two images, two objects, two PDFs. So now I'm going to lock this one on the right. So you'll see I'm selected with my yellow border. And now in my adorning menu, I'm going to click the padlock. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my other PDF here to the left, padlock. And now I'm able to utilize my marker. Let's see where my thickness is. We'll move it down just a little bit. And now I'm able to come over here and start filling out my math worksheet. And again, I can have two students at the board at the same time doing this. Obviously, I'm one person, so I'm not able to show you or demo that. However, I want you to see how you can have two students up at the board working on the same PDF. I also want to point out down here at the bottom of our main toolbar, there's an icon that looks like a hand. We call that our infinite canvas hand. What you can do with this is you can take your two fingers on the board and use your pinching fingers. Oops, it didn't work for me on my laptop, but that's okay. Let me just go down, delete. You can take your 2 fingers and pinch in or pinch out. And that's just to simply scroll with the mouse if you're on your laptop as well. So you can do that here, but this just gives you, number one, more real estate. You can move these around. Sorry, click your pointer first, and then you can move them around if you need to. So you can adjust the screen to give you some more real estate. And moving that here. And then if you wanted to write some information, you have more room over here. Again, I can click my infinite canvas hand, shrink that in, and now move it. And again, I have more room to add more things. So I went, sorry about that. I'm getting used to my new double screen here. I went from 1 PDF to 2, and then more real estate in the matter of just seconds to be able to have more room. One thing I want to point out, did you notice what happened with my ink? When I wrote on my PDF, it stayed right with my ink. I'm going to show you how to open a new page as well. So we're on page 1 or slide 1 or canvas 1, whichever terminology you feel free to use. Down here at the bottom on our floating toolbar, we have a blue page with a plus sign. I'm going to select that. And now I'm on page 3. And if I use my arrows down here at the bottom and go back 1 page, I'm back on my slide, and notice my ink is still there. So I want to make that correspondence in the reference of when you are bringing up a PDF on your computer, strictly just as a projector style setting, you get that 1 PDF and you're interacting directly with that. You may be writing over top of it or using the students, hey, just, preview this and write this down on your own. However, now by bringing the PDF into the software, you have options to write on the PDF. If you even have students in the far back of the classroom, one of the great features about this is you can zoom into 400%. So yes, the smaller worksheet may be harder to see in the back of the classroom. However, now I am pretty far zoomed in. I'm going to go back to my pen tool, and 6 minus 2 is 4. So I can write on this. I can go back to my infinite canvas hand, and I can scroll back out and notice my ink stays right there with it. Are there any questions about this awesome feature?
I'm not seeing anything in the chat either. Okay, please pipe in at any time. Thank you.
All right, so one more time, I'm going to go back and show you that our magic box, down here where the arrow is pointing, you select your magic box. And again, you're going to make sure that your drive is selected. This is a hard drive from your computer. And then you're going to navigate to the spot where you want to bring in the information. And then you just double click. And then you bring in the content that you want. And now when I have my PDF in here, I can select from my pointer tool. And again, with our padlock image at the far left corner, I can select that. It's going to unlock. And then one thing I want to show you while it's unlocked is when it's unlocked, then our ink does not stay with the worksheet. So just making sure that you understand that the best way to utilize this is making sure you click lock in the adorning menu, and then everything's stuck together.
I love that. I'm curious, anyone utilizing this feature and again, I'm not sure where you all are in your learning continuum. If they are brand new, perhaps you haven't. Maybe hopefully you see a place for it, but has anyone used this feature before? Or just excited to know how to use it so that they can use it um, going into the new school year? You can put it in chat or come off mute. Anyone? We have a quiet group. Oh, good. Good. Nice, Erin. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. Any other clarifying questions, or do we think we have it? So for those who it might be a new feature, you think that you have what you need to be able to use it. Yes? And I have some who are using it and love it. Good. Okay. Again, with the digital workshop, not at all intended for you all just to kind of sit and get, but as much interaction would be amazing. So just questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
Mm.
That's what I love about these sessions is that it's your session. We're making sure
Right.
that we do this for you and that
Yes.
we leave you with some awesome tidbits and then be able to point you in directions to go down another rabbit hole to learn so much more. All right. So what we just talked about again was bringing a pretty much a a flat object in, working on a document, and being able to edit that and be able to navigate and move it around. And again, this is all without signing into your software that we have. One thing I do want to point out is you are limited with 5 Canvas pages. So down here on our main floating toolbar, I'm sorry, our floating toolbar next to the main toolbar, there is a light blue page with the number 2 on it right now. When I select this, this brings me up to my slide sorter. So I'm able to see I've got page 1, page 2, and page 3. Now be careful when you're in this because it's a little tricky to navigate. I'm able to click and drag and be able to move these around. So just make sure that you're aware that you can definitely sort these for what works for you. You can select the X with the page on it, and that's going to delete the page for you. But make sure you read because it pops up that this is an irreversible object. So you cannot go back to bring that up. I'm going to click no. You also have the option to duplicate the page that you're on. So what this does is it takes what you just did and duplicates that. So it's work smarter, not harder. So I love that feature. And then a brand new feature that ViewSonic just came out with is this eyeball icon. So if we don't want to see page 1 of 4, we can click the eyeball and it grays it out. Maybe we don't want to see page 2 and it grays it out. So as you are going through your slide deck, it does not pop up. And when you're ready to see it, all you have to do is click the page icon at the very bottom, go back here, and then just click the eye selection, and you're able to see that again. So I love those features. But again, you only get 5 pages when you're in the free version or quote unquote not signed in.
Oh,
Signing in has a lot more benefits.
yes. Good point. Um, I have a question in chat. Can you review making it larger again?
Yeah, not a problem. So that's going to be with our infinite canvas hand at the bottom. So if I move this around here, there we go. So the infinite canvas hand gives you up to 400% view. So right now, I'm just on the main view size that I started with. And when I zoom in, so that's either with the mouse that you're zooming in, or when you're at the board, it's your 2 fingers, your pinching fingers where you can zoom in, or you can take 2 fingers out and then zoom in together, or it's zooming out and then it's your pinching fingers going out or your 2 fingers separating on the board. And then as long as you have the infinite canvas hand activated, you can then drag whatever your board, wherever your space is around wherever you decide to leave that. Great question.
Thank you. hopefully that addressed your question, Kate. I believe it is. Okay, awesome.
Awesome. All right, so now I'm going to just clear out my page here. There is a file folder at the very bottom of the main toolbar. And when you select this icon, there is a blue page and it says New Canvas. If you are just working on something that you don't want to save, you just want to start fresh, this is the easiest way to start fresh. We're going to click our blue canvas and click Don't Save. And now we've got a fresh canvas. So I love that option because you just want to start fresh. You just want to continue with a new train of thought. So we're going to start with a brand new canvas. Again, we are not signed in to our software, so I'll show you where to do that here in a little bit. But right now, stick with me as I'm going to show you how to create an object. We have our marker tool and we have our shapes tool. So we are going to click on shapes. And when you click on shapes once, you get 3 different options. And when you click on shapes again, you get more options. So I'm going to go with a circle. And when I select my circle, I just have to draw it on the board and let go. Now I have my object and I have my adorning menu. If I wanted to, I could change the color. So let's go with a red. And then I can fill my circle with a different color if I wanted to. And let's just maybe do a different shade of red. There we go. So now I've got an object. And when I select my object from the pointer tool at the bottom, again, the pointer or the home, when I select this and I can click and drag this item all over my canvas. Now I'm going to go back to my shapes. Again, you select it once for 3 options. You select it again for more. We have 3D options. We have a grid option, and we also have arrows, different lines. So I'm going to insert an arrow, and I want my arrow to be blue. So here is my arrow. So I'm going to go back to my pointer tool. I've got my arrow that I can move, and I've got my circle that I can move. Now, I'm going to get a little fancy, and I'm going to create an object. So I'm going to drag my arrow over into my circle. Now I have my arrow with my circle, and it looks together. It looks like it's right here, ready to go. However, if I select my circle, my arrow does not go with my circle. So I'm going to use some fancy technology here in our adorning menu. So I'm going to again click my home button or my pointer arrow at the very far bottom in the main toolbar. And I'm just going to highlight here what I want grouped together. So one more time, I've clicked the pointer, the blue arrow at the bottom, and I've just circled what I want to group together. And then I let go. And now I've got the border selected around my circle, but I have a new icon. And if you notice, it's the 3rd icon down in the 1st column. It is a gray square with a white circle and then a square inside of that circle. I'm going to select this once. This is called our grouping icon. And now when I select off of it and then select it again, I've created an object. I've grouped that together. Does anyone need me to go back and show them how to do that again? All right, I think we're good unless there's a chat and I can't see that, but it's okay. Tara will tell me. All right, so I grouped my object.
Oh,
And if I need, oh, go ahead.
can you ungroup them? Hold on. Can you ungroup them after?
Yes.
Okay,
So
different
now
order.
I've got
Signed
my
in.
icon is selected
Okay.
and I can click that icon again. Ooh, it's supposed to ungroup. However, if you click undo, there, enough, you'll get back to the point where they weren't grouped. But to group it again, my pointer button, I'm going to select what I need, and then I'm going to click the group. All right, so you may be saying, why am I doing this? Why am I learning how to create different objects? This is going to help you build. It's going to give you some ideas. And now I'm going to take this a little bit further. So maybe you asked a question in class and maybe you said, okay, so who are the winners, or who are the people that answered the question correctly? And out of the people that answered the question correctly, maybe we're going to do a quick little drawing. You've got something you want to give them. So I'm going to write their names: Sam, Sally, June, Bill, and Ted. There we go. All right. So now you may be saying, okay, how we just have a flat object. What are we going to do with it? So I'm going to go back to my pointer tool, and I'm going to select my object again. And if you notice in my adorning menu, in the fourth column, the first row, there is a little target with a dart in it. That is our spinning icon. So now if you select that, we're able to spin, and Sally wins the candy bar for the day. So this is a way to make a flat object, two items that you're creating, and you're able to make that interactive. So one more time, I click the home icon at the bottom, the pointer icon. I selected my image. And since I grouped this and I built this together, I'm able to then click my spinner. And it's going to go, this time June. June wins the candy bar. When you are in the spinner as well, there's a newer feature where you can force it to stop. I also want to let you know that anything can be spun, essentially. So if I come back to my shapes, I create another box, I can just spin that directly from there. If you bring in a picture, you back to that PDF, you can bring that in, get spun, get fancy, and spin with that too. So it's just building an object and getting in here and getting creative and learning how to play with our features down here that are on the main toolbar, and then utilizing it with our floating toolbar. And then when you select an icon or an object or a picture, it's learning the adorning menu and all the different fun features that we have available for you in there. Are there any questions about that?
There is another question in chat while you all are thinking of other questions possibly. Are the tools different if you're not signed in? I guess the tool availability, is it different?
Right now, I am not signed in whatsoever into the board. So if you are on the Windows side, these are the same tools that you would have available to you. Now, if you are only on the Android side, where you don't have a computer hooked up, maybe you're on an iPad version or lighter version, you will not have all of these tools available. So just keep that in mind so you know which one you're utilizing. But for the most part, on the Windows side, this is exactly what you'd have.
So there are definitely benefits to installing the app and signing in, as far as
Yes.
to have the comprehensive experience.
Yes. Right
Okay.
now, we're just showing you how to be able to get your board up and going. First day of school, maybe you didn't have time for PD. Again, you didn't have time to go visit these sites that I'm going to leave you with here shortly. So this is just getting you access to the board right away. So I'm going to minimize this. And if I can, there we go. So it's the My View Board icon right here. Again, you're either going to have that yellow cloud or the white with the red. And then once you are here, I'm going to click delete. Your screen should look like this. And you're just going to click that X And now again, you've got the free access, the limited, the watered down version a little bit, but you're able right away to go straight to your magic box, navigate to your computer, double click your PDF, import as object, portrait, and now I'm able to work real quick. So don't let the board stop you or overwhelm you. It's just a processing path that you're going to learn that'll take some time, but definitely try to get up to your board and practice as much as you can before school starts as you learn all these fun new tricks. So I'm going to delete this, actually start fresh, don't save. All right, so I am signed out of my program currently right now. And when I go to sign in, I will have more features, as I mentioned. So if you are going to be joining for the second session that we have in a couple weeks, or if you want to obviously sign in to get more, the best way to do this is to make sure that your district has connected the entity in the background. So the meaning, when you click on the G at the bottom, if you are a Google School, or the Microsoft icon in the middle, or the Apple one, we just want to make sure that you're logging in with that appropriate login. Do not type your email and password if you have a school entity account. So this is one thing that you just want to double check with your school to begin with, to make sure that you're set up correctly. And then I am with my Google account. So I'm going to select the G for Google. And then as I do this, it's going to sign me in. It's going to ask if you'd like to keep signed in. Sure, I'll click yes. And then one of the ways I know I'm signed in is I have my ViewBoard name at the top. And that should be your email address if you've not changed it in the background. So by signing in again, I can click on my magic box, and then you'll see I have another icon, and that's my cloud storage, which is my Google Drive. If I had my Microsoft account down here, you would see that Microsoft icon. And now I can access what I need to. So here's the PDF that I have uploaded to my Google Drive as well. I can select this. It's going to download. And it may take a couple seconds to download because, again, it's bringing it down from the cloud. And I'm doing a webinar, and it knows that I'm doing a webinar. So it's going to take a little couple seconds longer. There we go. It doesn't normally take that long. But then I can select it the same way as I did before. And then I've got my PDF as well. The benefit of being signed in is now I can go down to the bottom and I can save it. And then I can bring it up through the cloud whatever board I'm on, whatever computer I'm on, I'm able to bring this saved file in whenever I need to. And we're going to talk about saving in the cloud on our next session. But we just wanted to make sure that you understood that difference. And then if you plan to join us for the next session, that you've got some homework. You need to find out if you have an entity account. And if you don't, then your tech person can go ahead and set that up in the backside with ViewSonic. And then if you do have an entity account, you're able to log in with your Google account or your Microsoft account. And I know we talked about the knowledge base, and I want to point you to where that is. I'm going to just go ahead and open up a new Chrome tab window. And from here, you know what, actually, Tara, why don't you go ahead and take over and you show that through the community? Let's do that. Oop, you're muted.
Sorry, it would not
There.
unmute. Sorry about that.
There you are.
In chat, it has we use the companion app to log in. Do you want to speak to that?
Oh yeah, you could definitely use the companion app. I just didn't want to jump too far ahead to save some surprises for next session.
Okay, Awesome. Do teachers need to first go to myviewboard.com to sync their account before signing directly into the software?
So that wouldn't be the teachers, that would be your tech department. So they would do that from the manager side. They would sync everybody's account, and then you would be able to sign into myviewboard.com once they do that on the backside.
Awesome. And then the last one, I have all of mine start there. I believe it was where you were just at. That's from Chad. If you want to unmute, if I've misunderstood that.
But
Um,
I was just answering her question.
okay.
My teachers, I work from the district tech side. I'm joining in just to make sure I'm not missing something new that you guys are putting out. We have thousands of boards out there. So I have all my teachers start there. We create them an entity account where they single sign on, and that's the first step. Is I have them single sign on to with their Microsoft district account, and they immediately bind their OneDrive and set up their boards the way they like it. The first step, and then they go into creating and then in learning how to use their whiteboard, both in the Windows software and then on if they choose to use it on the Android side, they do it there. But we try to steer them to use the Windows software because it's much more powerful, and their Windows machines are much more powerful. And we put them through PDs. We do train the trainer sessions. We push them through the certifications if they choose to do that. We don't make them do it, but we let them know it is available. But again, I'm just sitting through to make sure that there's nothing new that I didn't that I don't want to miss something, you know. Anyway, I'm just here for fun.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate you sharing. Okay, I don't have any other questions in the chat, so I just wanted to show you here back in the community. Thank you, Dana, for that wonderful session. I do hope you all were able to glean some nuggets. I can see by the chat and from comments that you have, so I am grateful there. Back into the community, I see that some of you have responded, so this is awesome. What will happen is I'll give you guys another hour or so after our session, and if you want to go ahead and drop your comment there, then I will put you in the pool. And if our numbers keep growing, looks like I'll be doing 2 versus 1 giftogram giveaway. As far as our knowledge base, I wanted to just show you here. If I go into, there's a couple places that you can get to it. In the Learning Center here, I mentioned to you about our back to school guide webinars, and then knowledge base is here. Okay. And so as Dana was going through this session, she had you write down some buzzwords, keywords, something to just kind of jog your memory to circle back to. You can apply that here. When I click on the knowledge base right here, I can put it here. Can you give me one of those words, Dana, that I can
Magic
put?
box.
Thank you. So when I put in Magic Box here and then click on, it's going to take me into several articles, Magic Box full breakdown. You can decide what level of information you would like to see. It's also going to provide you with some great screen grabs so that you can really be able to understand. And then I like the visuals. I'm such a visual person as far as the step by step on how to use it. So how to basically jog your memory on the steps that Dana went through in this session. Okay, so the easiest way to get back into the knowledge base is if you're a community member, just go right up into the product, into the learning center, and then you can just scroll down, and it'll be an actual spot for you to click on knowledge base there.
You can
Questions
always
on?
easily
Oh,
get
sorry.
to that in the software by clicking the gear icon at the top and then the question mark as well. So you can get it while you're in the software too.
Awesome. Thank you. For those who have the software installed, look for that gear icon. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, and I appreciate Katie is responding to Chad. Perfect. Again, this is another reason why I really appreciate you guys coming off mute, talking, sharing, telling us what you do, because it really does resonate. And we find that there's other community folks, other participants who are doing something similar, or if they're not, will consider doing it. So it's just that whole notion as educators, we really do learn from one another. Okay. So, is the community in the community? Where do I post? Let me go back to that and I can show you really quick. So I'm going to go back here to let's see. There we go. So within the community, which this is our VSA homepage, if I go right here to the actual session that we're in, again, this is session 1. Dana has alluded to that this is a 2-part session. So August 15th, Dana is back to do session 2. Okay. And that will, of course, cover some of the items that we might have alluded to, but will be expanded upon in that session too. Okay. Really, Dana and I, when we got together, our goal was not to overwhelm. Okay. We have all been there, right? Where we've gotten new stuff and then it just feels like it's being dumped on you. And it feels very overwhelming at first. We wanted to start small and then grow. So what we'd love, as Dana has said, is for your quote unquote homework, if you can kind of start what you have now. And then hopefully by the next time we come together on August 15th, that would have been accomplished. And so we're going to build from there. Okay. I know that some of you all are in more of a coach specialist role, and you're basically kind of turnkeying this with your teachers. So hopefully you have enough to just get them going, to get that board turned on. Okay. And then when they come back again, August 15th, we'll give them a little bit more. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
While they're going to post some comments or think about it real quick, I do want to throw out the ViewSonic YouTube channel. That again is amazing. Please, please, please take a chance to look at that. Turn it on while you're brushing your teeth. They show 3 to 5 minute short videos for great things that'll take you down more rabbit holes. All you have to do is search ViewSonic Education through your YouTube app, through YouTube Online, or find it through our links that we have through the community. They are amazing videos. A lot of this is already ready to go for you. So please, please, please take a look at that stuff. And then again, don't panic if your school doesn't have PD or can't get there. Just post a message. If you're wanting different PD, you need more PD, you aren't sure how to get PD, definitely reach out. We have a full ViewSonic team that's ready to go to assist with that too.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that, Dana. Especially the digital workshops in the community are really just to whet your appetite. By no means replace the wonderful things that happen with the PD team, which Dana is also a part of. Come out and really give you the additional handholding and support that you all need. And our YouTube channels, just thank you for reminding me that training center that houses a lot of our beautiful content is actually, as we speak, going to be migrated into the community. And so I'm excited because the next session, I was hoping to be ready for this one, but for the next session, I'll be able to show you exactly where you can find that within the community. But until then, as Dana said, you can just look us up on YouTube and find all that you need. But they are really great 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute little nuggets that you can put on in the background, and you'll be amazed how much actually sticks. Awesome. Okay, we are getting ready to wrap up. If there aren't any additional questions, I know that you all have many things that you need to do. I want to thank you for your time. Please come back and check out the community a little later. I will announce the winners there. And then the winners will need to email me directly so that I can make sure you get your, I want to be able to get you that gift card via email to you. Again, August 15th, mark your calendar for session 2. We look forward to seeing you again. And if you haven't had a chance to either join the community and post or or just post, please do so. Again, I'm going to leave the window open for another hour. All right. Winner, winner. Yay, yay, yay. I love that enthusiasm. Thank you, guys. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day. Bye.